Okay, okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. I'm not doing very well. My voice is not right yet. I should have had a cup of coffee really before I started. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Free Association. This is the warm up show for my live radio show later on this afternoon. The point of the warm up is to warm my voice up, which obviously I do need to do because I always have a cough. I always have a voice that needs to be warmed up. And it took me about a year to discover this, but it was a revelation that if I just warm my voice up for half an hour, at some point, a few hours before the live stream goes much better. It's much less technically choppy. It's much less kind of thought stream choppy. It just works a lot better. So all you've got to do is 15 or 20 minutes on a live stream. The voice gets sorted out, my thought process gets sorted out, and that all's good with the world. And the radio show goes much better. So the plan for this afternoon show so far is to use some content from Jay Dyer, where he's talking about Star Wars, the first Star Wars trilogy, which is actually the middle trilogy, but the George Lucas, the first three movies, basically, the philosophy and the underlying themes and some of the symbolism that's in there. Obviously, it's the hero's journey. Fairly obviously, there's a lot of Joseph Campbell material in there. And Joseph Campbell got his material from Carl Jung, so there's a lot of archetypal themes going on. And I found this half an hour podcast on BitChute. It's Jay Dyer talking about all of that. So my plan at the moment is to just use Star Wars as a means to an end and use this particular theme and content as a means to an end. So I'll talk about my experience of Star Wars, which is I didn't want to go anywhere near it when I was, what would I be, 11 years old, 12 years old, something like that. I didn't want to go anywhere near it simply because people were queuing around the block, and I'm suspicious of anything that people are queuing around the block for. I was, at 12 years old, I was suspicious of anything that people are queuing around the block for, and I'm still the same. So if there's a queue around the block for a vaccine, you can guarantee I'm going to be walking in the opposite direction because it's what I've always done. So there may or may not be a reason, but I'm doing what I've always done. So yeah, in this particular case, I think walking in the other direction is a valid option. It's not always valid though, so I'm being a bit more selective these days. I used to just walk away from everything. And now I'm being a bit more selective and picking my battles a bit more. But anyway, this is where we are. It's 2021. There's a world of things to pick as battles. I think I'm probably going to die on the no vaccine, my body my choice hill. I didn't really care about the masks hill. If there was going to be a battle on the masks hill, I can compromise on masks. I don't mind about that. But the my body, my choice thing is important, and it's a concept, it's a principle that I think is worth establishing in some kind of legal framework if it doesn't already exist, which it should already exist really. Because it ought to be an assumption that we just all make, but apparently it isn't. And we've just discovered this in 2021, so we need to sort it out. And I'm a bit of a health man. I like to know that my health's going to be good. I like to know that what I'm putting in my body is reasonably good for me. It doesn't always have to be good for me, but it's nice to know that the majority of stuff that I put in my body is good for me, and I do have a choice about what that is. So, yeah, this is the battle that I'm prepared to die for. I think I'm planting a flag and drawing a line in the sand, and whatever other metaphor you want to use, and this is the one. This is the one. So it may not be everybody's line in the sand, but it is mine. And yeah, it's a shame it had to come to this, but people I know socially are still hassling me to get vaccinated, and I'm still telling them no. And I'll continue to tell them no for as long as they hassle me. And make other plans to socialize in other places. So I kind of put in the keywords, I put Stand in the Park, which is one of the places that I'm finding to network and socialize. So it turns out on a Sunday morning, there's a group of people meeting in the park. In my case, it's Leazes Park in Newcastle. But in your case, it could be whatever the main park is in your town. Stand in the Park is a worldwide movement. It's a worldwide kind of unofficial, unorganized, kind of make it up as you go along, just turn up and see if anybody else turns up kind of deal. So there are no organizers really, there's just a registered place to be, which in my case is Leazes Park at 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning, by the picnic area, by the cafe, by the pond, the lake. So it's easy enough to find. There's a little bit of undercover, not very much, but there's 2 tables that are undercover, which is just about enough for the people that are showing up at the moment. It's cold and it's uncomfortable to be there for 2 hours. You need to be wrapped up fairly well. The British weather's not always great in November, we're discovering. And there's been snow. There's been snow on the ground. There's been ice, and it's uncomfortable. It's freezing cold, and my feet were dropping off after 2 hours last Sunday. But it's worth making the effort, simply because it's the place where the people I want to talk to are hanging out. So it has to be done, really. Has to be done. So if you have a look on a standinthepark.org, that's the website. You can find the local meeting, or you can organise your own local meeting. I mean, it's not really organised, it's just register your own local meeting on that particular website, and let the world come to you, and then find some people to be friends with who are actually interested in the same things that you're interested in, have similar value systems, similar but not always the same political views, not always even all that similar, but it doesn't matter. It's not about party politics, it's about taking a stand for freedom, really. And that's pretty much how it works. Right, that's my 10 minutes. That'll do as a warm-up for my voice. That was pretty good, I think. You can hear my voice is pretty much clear now. And I will have a cup of coffee. I've got to go and buy some shopping, but I will have a cup of coffee before I start the actual show. But I think I'm pretty much livened up now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for another warm-up this time next week. And almost daily live streams now until Christmas or the New Year, and then we'll see where we go from there. Thanks for watching, and take care.